Feel my face, I'm in this bitch. Been up 2 days, now I hit the switch, let's go. Gotta get the bag, well I got the wrist. No phone, don't call, yeah, I'm off the grid, lay low. Can't feel my face, I'm in this bitch. Been up 2 days, now I hit the switch, let's go. Gotta get the bag, well I got the wrist. No phone, don't call, yeah, I'm off the grid, lay low. Now rendezvous. Yeah, what you wanna do? Now rendezvous. Can't feel my face, I'm in this bitch. Been up 2 days, now I hit the switch, let's go. Gotta get the bag, well I got the wrist. No phone, don't call, yeah, I'm off the grid, lay low. Can't feel my face, I'm in this bitch. Been up 2 days, now I hit the switch, let's go. Gotta get the bag, well I got the wrist. No phone, don't call, yeah, I'm off the grid, lay low. Now rendezvous. Yeah, what you wanna do?
Yo, 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 gangsters. Welcome to another week of happening good things. The market is in fermentation. Everything is exploding. What is going on? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Who knows? But let's welcome our co-host and, well, all of them are co-hosts right now on stage. Just say co-host. Sandy, Crypto, Saint, how you all doing, guys?
Doing good. Enjoying the Friday. It's a bit shit outside, but we got a long weekend here. I got 4-day weekend. Monday, Tuesday off. So I'm excited. It's also my birthday weekend, so I'm excited for that.
Oh, well, I don't say it in advance because it's, bad luck in Italy to say, happy in advance. So I'm going to wait for you to officialize it and I'll say it.
I did not know that it was bad luck, but I'll definitely be in the gas Discord on that day.
Okay, awesome. No, well, it's just an Italian thing. Don't worry about it.
He's made me tell him happy birthday every day for the month of May. So all the bad luck.
Jeez.
That's okay. None of us are Italian, so me or her. So I think we're chilling.
But yeah.
I just hope he didn't make you buy him presents every day of the month.
No, but I was telling him though, when I turned 30, my husband did that. He bought me a gift a day for 30 days for my 30 years. So, fellas, if you need ideas for a nice gift for your significant other, that's not a bad idea. 30 days of gifts. It's a nice gift.
Oh, how are the gifts now, Sandy?
Don't get that tradition started. Don't get that tradition started because that means every year is one more gift for like 31 days, 32 days, 33 days.
Hold on. What? I agree with you, Grim. And I also want to know, did you do that for him, Sandy?
No.
Oh, I am so bearish. I am so
Listen.
bearish. So you have high expectation, you're high maintenance, but you don't give the same value
First of
back.
all, I did not ask for it. He just happened to do it. But I get him nicer gifts. Like this year, I got him a fucking coffee machine. That's a good gift. Like a big, like espresso one, a barista. You would appreciate that, Grim. You're
Okay.
Italian. You like coffee.
You know, I like coffee, but that seems like, I don't know. Do you want me to buy you a vacuum cleaner for your birthday?
No. I don't drink coffee, so it's definitely not a gift like I know he would enjoy because he likes coffee. So it's something that I know he truly enjoys. Like he's a coffee snob, so that's why. But
Does he have his like morning ritual that he goes
yes.
through every day, and he's like grinding the coffee,
Yes.
sprays a little bit of water to like moisturize what's it called when you graded them up? Okay, well, anyways,
The grounds.
the grounds, and then and then I bet he has to pressurize the machine, and he wants to make it perfect, so it has to come out in like the exact special way.
Yes.
And he has to aerate the coffee so it's not all compressed, all these things,
It
right?
needs to be like specific type of coffee, specific type of grade. And I absolutely hate coffee. I don't drink coffee at all. I hate the smell of it. So for me, I just don't understand this whole concept of like it needs to be this way and that way. And like it makes, like little like grays everywhere.
So I'm going to share some alpha. I have tried this coffee. I think few people tried because it comes from Colombia. A friend of mine that deals with like this petrol or oil,
Hold on, Grim. Where are you going with this? This sounds like something Saints might say.
No, wait. He went, this friend of mine, he works in the steel industry and makes these like pipelines and things for the oil distribution and transportation. And he went to this mogul, this like billionaire that was like had a plantation of coffee there as well. And because they have their hands everywhere. But he brought back this coffee that apparently what they do is they handpick every seed. They don't roast them immediately. They let them ferment for a period. Like if it was wine, then they recheck every seed afterwards. They ground it up, and then you can drink it, like the coffee luwak or something like that. But imagine that above that level. So I tried it, and I shit you not, it tasted more like wine than it did coffee.
What?
But it had this like sweet aroma that was from the fermentation that I could not connect it to a coffee, but it tasted like every sip, it was like bouqueting in your mouth, it's like exploding with flavors.
What's the name of it?
Imperial or something like that. I will look it up because I need to find it. But imagine 1 kg of that is around $75,000.
What?
Wow. So Sandy's going to be hoping for a nice bull run this year.
It's okay. I got him the coffee machine. He can figure out the coffee himself.
Savage.
But happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. DJ
Happy Friday.
For you, Sandy?
No, I actually was really busy today with work, which is very annoying because it's I don't like to work on Fridays, but I had to get some work done today, unfortunately.
Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, bearish on working on Friday.
Exactly.
But speaking of DGen Fridays, I'm sure you've all seen the news that the Doge dog, unfortunately passed away. Cabuso, sorry, passed away. So that's a bit crazy. Like the most famous dog in Web3, probably responsible for a lot of onboarding of the masses through Dogecoin. So even Elon Musk tweeted about it, although he is a bit of a Doge maxi. But
I didn't even know the dog had a name, so I learned something new today.
Yeah. I didn't know either until I saw the post. But there was a dog with hat that the actual photograph, which is used for the ticker, that was sold recently for like Oh, tons of ETH. I remember Meme Land were bidding for it and they got outbid by someone. So it seems like for some reason people just love these kind of IRL artifacts. Because there was the sign, the Bitcoin sign that was held up in like a US court at some stage that was purchased for quite a lot of Bitcoin. But so people just like collecting these things. So whether it's going to be of any value, who knows? But maybe it'll be a historical value, and it might in someday in the future there'll be like a crypto museum, and we might see some of these artifacts in there.
Well, I just hope they don't taxidermy him or something like that.
You know what? You can never be too sure, but by the looks of it, it doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Thankfully.
Oh,
Wouldn't be
really?
surprised.
Like for the Hall of Fame, mummified Doge. Live me now,
Could you
man.
imagine? Could you imagine? But like Sandy
I
said,
already
I wouldn't be
did. That's why
surprised.
I came up with the thought.
Wait, who owns the dog? Do we know?
I do not know.
But I am sure it was the creator of Doge that came up with it, or did he just take a meme out of the internet and made it into the coin?
Well, that's a task for anyone in the audience. If you know who the owner of the dog was, feel free to put that in the messages at the bottom right, or you can request to come up and we'll get you up in stage and you'll be able to reveal the identity of Caruso's owner.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest
Rip
in
the doggy.
peace.
Roof, roof, roof.
Yeah.
Did it pump Doge or no?
Ooh, that's a good question, actually.
Let me check. Well,
It should have. Like that's news to pump something. If I
not big, but it did have an uptrend. But the majority of cryptos have an uptrend recently, so I wouldn't really connect it with this kind of news, because if I'm looking at like the chart, it kind of looks something like, I don't know, XRP had the same kind of chart, so it's very similar. And the majority of tokens or memes that are pumped have had a similar kind of chart as well. Pepe's sitting at 5 billion, 6 billion almost. Holy cow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is nuts. It is nuts. And also, speaking of nuts and market uptrends, obviously we had the uh, right in this. You know, you got like tongue twisters. I don't know, like a pen twister or finger twister, but trying to write ETH ETF is so difficult because ETH is like it just feels like EFF or EEF. Obviously, we know it's ETH, but trying to write ETH, um, uh, oh, see, I can't even say it. It's a brain teaser, man. Bloody hell.
I think you're the only one. ETF, right?
Huh? Yeah. Well, spell it.
ETH ETF.
Well, I must struggle with it. I must have some form of dyslexia then, because yeah,
ETF.
ETF is like sometimes when you're trying to do it quick, it just throws me out. But anyway,
But so that happened. What do you feel is going to be, the next couple of months moving forward from this event? Because right now we've seen, the whole market swinging back, and Ethereum is sitting at around 3,750 in this very moment, which it didn't really do a massive pump, but it just follows suit with Bitcoin. And this news about the ETF didn't really make it go up more than it did, a few days ago. So what do you feel? What's it going to look like going forward?
Yeah, that's a real good question. I mean, for me personally, I didn't feel as though it was going to have a massive kind of like pump factor like immediately. If we remember what happened with the Bitcoin ETF, it pumped initially, for maybe like give or take a week, 4 to 5 days, and then it dipped, and then it kind of like recovered, and we've just been going sideways since. But the difference with that, the Bitcoin ETF and the ETH one, is that there was institutions ready to roll out their products, their whatever it is they were offering, like Grayscale with their iBit offering. So there was money was able to come in, um, and it was able to get like media attention because from in terms of like ETFs, it was the most successful ETF, um, maybe even ever, I think, because it sustained such a long period of inflows of money. So that gives it that media attention. Obviously, there'll be some people that buy on exchanges, like like normal people or us, people who are already in there. And so I think with the ETH one, as far as I'm aware, no one's got any products that they're able to like roll out immediately. So there isn't going to be this news story of inflows of money coming in, like these grabby headlines. So we're just going to have to wait. Maybe summertime is going to be prime when they get these products out, and then it starts hitting mainstream media. But yeah, I think there is going to be a pump. This is a bit of a vanilla kind of take, but there is going to be a pump, but I can't say when because I don't have a crystal ball. But I'll be interested to hear what Saints and yourself think, or anyone in the audience.
I think we just lost Sandy, by the way.
Yeah, it looks like we did.
Hmm.
I think she was probably in the car, so she probably got caught with signal or something.
I see, I see. So what do you think then, Saints?
About the ETF, right? And like where we're
Yeah.
moving forward. I don't know. As you know, I think I've told you about like the whole what I done with my crypto. Um, I mean, even as soon as it was announced, we saw it go up by like what 100. I think we were in the gas Discord yesterday when it officially got announced. Right now, it's sitting at like that 37 mark. Um, I don't know. Summer, obviously, crypto always dumps. Um, I don't feel like I made a bad decision on my end, or anyone who has done it. Um, I don't see it going crazy. Can we break this 4,000? I think we can, but I think eventually we're gonna come back into like the mid to lower 3,000s for the summer. That's just my take, just based on previous trends of crypto in like summer.
So, because I know a big deal is made about the fact that it's like a US election year, and there's only been one in the entire history of election years where the actual market, mainstream market, has been down. Um, Now, obviously, this year we've got the halving that's already occurred, the election year, and then these ETFs. So, um, there are people in the space that are saying that although it's normally selling may go away for the summer because of all of those things that I just mentioned, that may not be the case because there's there's more bullish, pumpy type signals than there are dumpy signals, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I actually did not know about that. Like the elections part, that there was only 1 year where the markets were kind of bad like that. So it's interesting to see. I guess we'll see. I mean, obviously it's good if it goes, higher 4,000s, 5,000s. Um, it'd be awesome to see it hit an all-time high. So let's see how it goes. I personally don't know, but I'm just based on kind of like the previous summers.
Mm. And before, because I want to, oh, go Sandy, I see you unmuted, go for it.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think like, nobody really knows what's gonna happen ever, so it's anybody's guess. But I think just looking at the last few months, it's been so up and down that it could literally be like that the whole summer, up down, and that's fine. Like, I think it's just opportunities for people to sell and to buy and sell and buy. So I think either way, we should see it in a positive view that like Saint said, like we sold high, you can go buy back low and then sell high again. So the kind of like going back and forth is not a big deal for me. Like I'm fine with that as long as we don't end up under 2K or back what happened in the last few years. I think if we just kind of like see ETH growing in the right direction, it's okay to have like the ups and downs. That's normal cycles, and we should not like be upset about that, I guess.
Because I want to get Grim's view, and you basically touched on a question that I wanted to ask yourself, well, everyone, basically. So I'll let Grim say his piece, and you can have first crack at this question, Grim. What would, whether you sold or held, what would be the price target that makes you regret your decision? So, like Sandy said, if she's held and it goes down to 2K, maybe she would regret the decision of not selling. And maybe for Saints, if it pumps up to, I don't know, like 6K, he might feel the same. So, what are your thoughts on the ETF and the price action, and what would make you kind of have that sort of regret?
So I've seen markets go down 80% and I've held, so it's kind of a difficult, question to answer from my end, because as you know, crypto and I are bag holders, so we don't usually sell at a loss, even though the market goes down to nothing.
Why are you exposing me, Grim? Why are you exposing me?
Well, because we're brothers and we share, the good and bad.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
But to be honest, I feel like if right now we're sitting at like $4,000, $5,000, and it goes up to $10,000, which is very probable, understanding that we are very early to the market. I mean, we might even see one day Bitcoin go above 100,000, maybe very imminently, and even go beyond that. I mean, the possibilities are there for Bitcoin to grow and become massive once there is no more Bitcoin to mine. But until there is mining, and obviously the price will stay kind of stable around what it will settle to next. We have seen a massive adoption, but this is like a long-winded answer because I'm trying to piece together what would make me feel regret. And I'd say probably if the market imploded and all of a sudden there was like this kind of understanding that crypto has cost and there's something else that's taking its place, and that might happen in one scenario where the blockchain is no longer secure as it is, and AI can break the code immediately without even trying, and we need to shift to something more secure to be able to transact. So there is like step 2 in evolution of crypto. And but the feeling is probably if it went down below 500, if we're talking about Ethereum, but I don't see that happening because it's been holding above 1,000 for the past several years without even thinking of going below that mark. And there must be such a massive event to make that happen. And I wouldn't sell it. I would just keep buying because I just believe so much in the technology and crypto as a whole. Decentralize everything. It's my way of going forward. I don't want any more politicians or things like that have their own agenda and everything gets done to benefit their groups or their political parties. I would love for AI to take over that part, and make it balanced, make it fair, make it so that wealth distribution is equal and there is opportunity for everyone, and in a way that allows everybody to have a decent life. I think decentralization is ushering this kind of new way to live that has been impossible to achieve until now because everything was always one-sided. Even with the political parties, there is so much debate about that, and I don't want to go into the political discussion. But anyways, there is the powerful that sit above everything. They make these kind of ecosystem where there is a bipartisan kind of conversation when one goes against the other, and as long that there is this kind of like, I am better than you, no, I am better than you, there will never be equality. There will never be a stage where the evolution of the human race really thrives, because we are all together towards a common goal instead of fighting each other for stupid reason. May it be religion, may it be governments, may it be our beliefs. But as the only impartial thing that I see happening and coming right in the middle of all this discussion is Web3. And we've seen it because in Web3, people don't don't respond to race, don't respond to where you're from. It's just everybody is the same. It's behind a PFP, and we love each other regardless.
Well,
And
one
as
thing
long
that
as you're
gets
part,
people fired up, Grim,
yeah.
well, Maxi's is Bitcoin, ETH, or Solana. That's something that people.
Oh, well, I feel like we're shifting, and that's why the Web3 is so beautiful, because we are so flexible, mentally prepared, for being part of this whole ecosystem, this whole space.
To
And
be fair, Grim, I think it's flexibility with regards to like bag chasing. People see that there's money to be made on like ETH initially with the NFTs, and then people move over to Solana because that starts pumping, and then there's like Bitcoin because of ordinals. So yeah, I think there is obviously there's an element of what you said, and there's an element of what I just said.
oh yeah,
But yeah,
100%,
it'd be it'd be
100%.
it'd be interesting to see where we go in the future. But I do want to get Sandy and Saints.
And I
Well,
would also want to get your own opinion on this.
oof. Okay, yeah, cool. All right, well, I'll go after Sandy and Saints. So,
I,
Sandy,
I just
Saints,
wanted to
whoever.
say, I wanted to just say something what the girl was saying. Don't you think that
Yeah,
the
of course.
ETF approval though is like kind of goes against the whole decentralization aspect of crypto?
Not, not really,
Not quite.
because
Yeah, me neither. I don't think so too.
yeah, the reason why I don't say that is, sorry, the reason why I say that is because I don't think they can control Ethereum. Um, if they if they went against, and the thing also, what you have to remember as well is that these big institutions, security is like first and foremost, because they definitely don't want to get rugged. So the more decentralized the network is, this is just the way I see it. So I'm happy to be corrected. I don't know all the answers. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. So if what I'm saying is a wild hot take, feel free to send a message or DM me or come up on stage and tell me, educate me why my take is so like wild. But going back to the point, these institutions don't want to get rugged, and the more decentralized a network is, the safer it is for them and their money. Because while, say, like us, the lay person will be buying their ETF, um, depending on the organization or the company, sorry, they actually have to have, say, for instance, for like Bitcoin, they have to have the proof of reserves. Some of them don't, but I think some of them do. And so if they were in a centralized kind of blockchain, it may make it easier to be just like more vulnerable. That's how I see it. um and it's hard for them to control it, because it would take a lot of Ethereum for them to have the 51% necessary to control the network. But what would you say, Grim? Was I out to lunch on that one, or?
No, I feel like we are very close to the having the right idea on on the way that the blockchain works. Obviously, it's like a monumental amount of money there. I don't think that they probably would put everything in one basket, because yes, they have trillions of dollars, but to invest all that much into a single crypto would like go against their portfolios, and obviously having that much control into something like, and I'm pretty sure that Vitalik talked about this several times. It's all in the way that they develop the blockchain. I don't even think that you can control like the new blockchains with a 51% consensus anymore. And this is a very hot topic that's been approached by Vitalik several times in his interviews and AMAs. And also the direction that the development of the blockchain is going as well. I don't want to go in too much details, but I'm pretty sure that this is actually beneficial for ushering in a more accepted, blockchain development, where before it was something that like people stayed away from due to the fact that it is crypto, everybody seen it as a scam, and having something like an ETF that allows the people that don't want or go through the process of buying crypto through a wallet or through an exchange can actually go through this kind of processes that just allow you to buy a piece of it, an ETF, a piece of it, and with cash, with money. And you can buy in, sell out whenever you want and take the profit. And it's just opening up a lot of possibility for normal investors to get in. I say normal because I'm referring to the majority of the population that doesn't utilize crypto, because let's remember that we are, I don't know, few hundred thousands or a few millions, in the world compared to what fiat has been, managed with. And we still have a long way to go. So I feel like this will probably allow to speed up that process of adoption.
Yeah, definitely much better for perception, like you said. I was just curious about your thoughts, because I know, there's a lot of talk about that, and I just wonder what people really think of all these, men approving these ETFs and making these decisions, and what their ulterior motive is, right? So, also, just to go back to your question, Cryptovius, if ETH were to go under $2,000, I would be very upset. I would buy more, like Grim, but I feel like we should not be going back there. I feel like 2,500 really should be like the lowest it should be going at this point, after everything that's been happening with ETH. But I also always keep some. Like I'm never gonna sell all my ETH, just because, like you said, in case it keeps going and keeps going. Like I wanna keep that moon bag. So
Some skin in the game,
that's
as
what
they
I'm
say, Sandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Saints, what about yourself?
I mean, kind of same thoughts as everyone, but that's what my plan is, just holding that rest of that in case that moonshot. I would not mind a 2,000 quick dip, buy a bunch of it back in, and then it goes straight back to where we're at right now.
Hey, don't fud my bags. Don't fud my bags. Although to be fair, because I'm like, I'm just holding for a price target. So, that'd be around about maybe 8K ish is what I'll be holding for, like in the future, like distant future, like within a year's time. So even if it was to flash down to 2K and then come back up, it wouldn't bother me too much, because I was never gonna sell, because it's nowhere near my price target. But if I yeah, I think if it did go down to like 2K, then I might be like, oh man, I should have bloody sold, because then I would be able to buy, near enough 1.5 times the amount, or if it went to like 2,500. But yeah, if I did sell, this is all hypothetical, of course. If I did sell before the pump at like 3,800, and then it shot up to like maybe 5K, then I'd be like, oh man, because I'd feel like I'd missed the boat. But yeah, like I said, I'm holding until around about the kind of 8K-ish range, and that's when I'll think about pulling the trigger. But just one other comment based on what Grim said, and also Sandy, with regards to like the political nature of crypto and that. I think this ETF approval is a great example of political influence, because by all accounts, the Democrats in USA were always against crypto or trying to be as resistant to it as possible. But then, because of this election year, they must have a feeling that going against crypto is like political suicide. So now that's when, because, oh, who is it? The Bloomberg Bros, they're dubbed. I can't remember what their names are, but the Bloomberg Bros initially said, oh, it's probably about a 15% chance of there being a ETF this year. And then all of a sudden it shot up to 75%. And that's because of that political U-turn, given the fact that it is an election year. So that's, in my opinion, evidence of politics getting involved or crypto being an influential factor in politics, which I think is a very good thing.
Did you just rocked or was that it?
No, that was it. That was it. That was it.
Okay. I was like, okay, where are we going with this? And it's like, you want to pass it on to somebody, or we just like
No, I
hovering
was
there?
waiting for you, Grim, as the host. I also saw Pires was coming up as well. So
Well,
Crazy stuff you did there, Cryptorius.
that's what you call a dramatic pause. Hey, at least it got people's attention.
Then how's it
well,
gonna do?
I want to approach some of the things that we discussed about in our private chat, and I wanted to take your opinion because we seen that the DOP finally released that the beta version of their mainnet. What do you think of that? Because I'm holding a few DOP. Obviously, can't sell them because I don't think they've done the TGE yet. I'm curious.
Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't know, it's DOP is the Data Ownership Protocol. So I've just pinned up a couple of tweets at the top. Yes, disclaimer, I do have some tokens. I participated in their testnet farming initiative, and I also had an opportunity to purchase some tokens, pre-sale tokens, uh, via like another project that I hold. So I do have some tokens of this. Like Grim said, we're unable to sell or even transfer them because they haven't done the necessary steps. But I think personally, I'm not saying that DOP are going to be the leaders of this meta, although they've, sponsored, I think, like 2 or 3 Binance events. But I do feel as though privacy, on-chain privacy, is going to be a really big feature in the future going forwards because um, everybody knows that if you get someone's wallet address, you can find out everything that they do, and a lot of people like the anonymity that's associated with Web3, and I don't feel as though there should be any issues with like privacy, like personal privacy, because it's like I like I don't know what Grim, Sandy, and Saints or anyone on this panel how they spent their money like today using their credit card, um, and I don't think they would want me to know that either. Like, oh, Sandy, you bought, I don't know, some coffee beans for your husband, or Grim, you've been buying presents for 30 days in the build up to your partner's birthday, and Saints has been buying flipping instant ramen with toothpaste to have breakfast. And I don't think people would want to know that.
I didn't know that Saint had this kind of pleasures.
Saints has got the weirdest
Toothpaste and
taste in
ramen. That must be new to me. I don't even know how you came up with that.
You
I'm
can
just
brush your
trying to
teeth and
imagine
eat
it.
breakfast at the same time.
Oh, that's the alpha.
So I do think that privacy is going to be a big feature, and just one of the posts that I pinned up at the top as well that says that DOP. I didn't know this until I was like looking actually into DOP, because I only got the tokens because I thought it was going. I believe that privacy is going to be a big feature, and I think that having these tokens, this is just me personally, was going to be a good play eh, as a hold going into the future, however long that future is. But then when I was looking on their um, through their page, I saw that they've got like a farming farming initiative taking place at this moment in time. So um, I haven't actually started it, but if anyone does want to start it, the post is pinned up at the top, and you can get up there. I suppose it's a missed opportunity because they got like bonuses for referral codes. And like I said, I haven't started, so I don't have a referral code. So there you go. But if you do it, good luck, and hopefully you get some tokens.
Well, I bought them and I'm waiting for the TGE. I'm sitting on my bag, and it's been months since I bought them with the expectation that it would have been much earlier. But to be honest, I've heard that some people that got into the early rounds spent uh, like a third or a quarter of what I spent and got, four times the amount. So they did kind of, did this like stepped up process where people were buying for like extremely cheap at the initial rounds and then slowly going up to the more public rounds. I was still lucky to be in one of the private ones, but still, I've heard that somebody, as I said, bought them for like a quarter of the price that I spent for having the same amount. So I was like, I hope that I'm getting, some money back.
Yeah, you know what, Grim? The same thing happened with myself, and one of the biggest pieces of FUD associated with DOP is the fact that they had numerous rounds where pre-sale rounds where they were just raising more and more money, and people were questioning, why are you doing so many rounds? Why are you taking taking so much money from other people and essentially diluting the the prize pool to for lack of a better term. Um, so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. Yes, Andy.
Question. So outside of the token that you guys are talking about, is this like an app that gives you privacy with your transaction? Like, is that what they're doing?
Yeah. So what it is basically when you go on to when you go on to DOP, you have the ability to like set up a wallet. You can fund that wallet with EVM, Ethereum based coins like USDC, USDT, and I haven't used it since the testnet, so I don't know what they've got in this actual um, mainnet beta version. But what it allows you to do is you can basically encrypt your transactions so that for instance, if I'm sending USDC to you, I can encrypt it so you'll receive it, but nobody when you try to read the transaction hash, it won't come up with any data, as in like, oh, how much was sent and where it was sent to, if that makes sense. They'll just know that a transaction occurred, but they won't know to what the value was and to whom the destination was.
This is amazing. I mean, I think that's one thing I kind of didn't really like too much about the blockchain is that, yeah, it's a positive thing that everything's on the blockchain, but at the same time, people have no life and people literally go and like snoop on people's wallets. I don't understand it. I've never cared what other people do with their money, but I know a lot of people in the space do that. So I feel like at least this gives the option of some sort of privacy with what you're doing with your transactions. So I think it's great. I'm definitely going to check it out and follow them. And if you have a referral link, send it to me and I'll sign up for you.
Thanks. I'll make one after the show.
I have one already, but I didn't post it yet. I know that you take priority when it comes to guest referrals.
Oh no, you just send it, man. Whoever gets it, like if it's alpha, like send it when you get it. That's the whole point of alpha. That's the space. You snooze, you lose at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see how this is going to play out. And I think the total amount that they have for distribution, I was just reading it now, is like 460 million TOP tokens. And compared to the amount I got for my point to eat, it's like mammoth load. So I don't know how will that get distributed. If you need to put, money, there on chain to be able to receive bonuses or points. But I feel like it's somewhere on the alley of what the big players like Blast and Blur have been doing. And there was another one called BOB, which is like built on Bitcoin with
Yeah,
like
that's
it's
right.
like integration. And I tried that a little bit. I just took the money out because I was like, okay, now they just said, oh, you need to interact with all these things to accumulate points, and it's like, ugh, whatever. If you airdrop me something, I'm happy. If not, don't care. I think Blast has been the one thing that we've probably been taking the most attention to. And I see, I don't know how relevant it's going to be when it comes down to the 26th of next month, and how big the airdrop will be to all the people that have been contributing, farming, and participating into the ecosystem. Definitely curious to see, how it unravels going forward, because there's still so many people farming it, and I want to make sure that we're not missing out in any way.
Yeah. Yeah, so with the DOP stuff, like you said, I've just initially just jumped in because I just thought it could be a meta that might hit. I'm also currently doing that Bob built on Bitcoin. But I've just staked. I took my ETH out of Blast, to be honest, and I just staked it on Bob, on one of their kind of like uh, dApps that they provide, because I just thought to myself like, um, Blast seems like it's a crowded trade at the moment, and this Bob is very kind of under the radar, in my opinion. Like if well, I'm just pulling up my thing now. So with the dApp that I used to stake some ETH, um, I'm currently, I'll tell you where I am, on their leaderboard. It's a bit clunky, so getting used to it. So my ranking is 186th on this dApp, based on what I've staked. So I'm hoping that's gonna, you know, translate to some spicy rewards. If you didn't get the pun, spice is the
186.
token that they're using.
Did you get in like super early on
No,
BOB?
no. So I just I think personally, I think the meta with farming is transitioning from um, volume of transactions in terms of frequency of transactions, I should say. Sorry, that's more proper. So frequency of transactions, and I believe it's transitioning to volume of transactions. So I just, like I said, I took pretty much all of my Blast ETH out of Blast and put it into Bob, and I'd done that late in near the beginning of season 2 of their farming Grim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get much points. I think I got like 12,935 points, and I'm like 34,000 on the leaderboard. So I'm like, there. Don't think I'm gonna get much out of it, but I did stake it for I think it was like a month or something.
Okay.
It is interesting because they're trying to really build EVMs on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Think I don't think that makes much sense, to be honest, because you're like trying to force this technology on top of something that works a bit differently. And I don't think the intention of Bitcoin was ever to have it be an Ethereum substitute. I think every
I agree.
blockchain should have their independent functionality, and
Yeah.
that's why I feel like Ethereum is here to stay, because they introduce applications built on chain, and it was the first. And as soon as they implement the changes to the blockchain, they in the stages of evolution, and the level of investment that they put through on Ethereum is uncomparable to all these other blockchains that are coming out. Yes, they're innovative. They're bringing new functionality, the new technologies. But let's remember that Ethereum is investing mammoth amount of money to make it, be always the first and foremost application, layered on blockchain. I feel like that. So I think that it is here to stay for like a very long time.
Yeah, I agree with you. And just for a little bit of context for anyone listening in the audience, I just pinned up a post from Bob, so you can check it out there. You'll be able to find their official site. I did drop the information in the Gas Alpha server, but I'm not sure how many people acknowledged it. And that for me was a perfect signal that it's being like faded or overlooked because no one really asked any questions. I think only maybe one or two people were like, "Oh, what's this about?" So on and so forth. How do I do it? And I just helped them with the steps, and they asked, "Oh, what did you do?" And that for me was really really good because that's what Blast was like before when I was farming Blast with say volume, um, like volume for me that is. Um, Nobody else was kind of doing Blast, and then all of a sudden everyone started like gaming these apps and all that sort of stuff, and you're just thinking, oh crap, now the attention's on Blast, and then they delayed, and Fantasy Tops came out, and the jackpot came out, and all this other crazy stuff, and that's when I was just like, yeah, this is my time to kind of get out and just focus on that Bob and the Spice token because um in Web3, it's about chasing kind of narratives. And it's like, I've been doing Blast since the second season of Blur. So it's like, I've done enough. I've done my time in that ecosystem. So now me taking my ETH out and putting it into Bob, say, or anywhere else for a month or 2 months, I don't feel it's going to cost me that much of an opportunity on Blast because I've, started ages ago. So, yeah, that's how I feel.
You keep your points when you pull out your money from Blast?
Yeah. Not all of it though. Not all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you do take a loss because they do penalize you if you decide to take it all out at once. And it's something I've seen happen also with Memeland, with Stakeland, which
Yes.
if you want to discuss it, well, we have a few minutes less. Mount Protocol
can
on
you tell me
Stakeland.
how do you unstake your freaking meme coin?
Oh,
Does
you don't
anybody
know?
Since
Yeah, it's on the side.
No.
Okay, so I'll guide you through it. So we go to the Stakeland, you connect, and you can touch your wallet on the top right-hand corner, and it tells you unstake right when it opens up that pop-up.
Oh.
And when you click unstake, it will
so
tell
it's not
you,
on the...
it will tell you the
Sandy,
amount
it's
that you
not
can
that hard.
unstake.
Shut up! You're the one that couldn't find it earlier.
We couldn't find it for like the last month.
Have you ever thought that it might be a good idea to reach out to Crypto and I?
I honestly, I told him, I was like, I'll ask Nikki or Crypto. But so the last one that they did, what was it again? It was the Rune one. What was it?
Arctic Runes?
Yeah.
What's it called? I forget. But it was such a waste of my time. Like I was thinking get like $8 out of it, so I'm not doing any more of their quests. Not happening.
Yeah, I think like most things, it's a whales game. Sorry, I wasn't looking at my phone. I don't know if someone else wanted to come in, so I'll quickly mute.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, go Saints, because I've been speaking for ages. So speak.
No, it's funny because we're hoping because we're looking at meme coin because she was talking about unstaking it, and we're looking at like to see if it can go up. I think we bought it at like 02 or something like that. I forgot when we bought it, Sandy, but I'm not gonna lie. In March it hit 06 or something like that. So I don't know if we bought it after that, before that, but we missed that.
No, we bought it after that. But what's it at now?
It's at 027 or 026.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a long hold for that one. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not doing the farming because it's not worth it. Like, it's probably more worth it if you just buy the meme coin and stake it than doing their quest because you'll probably just get peanuts.
It depends how much you have, and that's if you don't have much meme stake there, it's not going to generate that much stake, and then you can't buy that much of whatever they're endorsing. I used a few millions of stake for the last round, and the most I got out of it was like $600. So I was like fairly disappointed. To the I think it's RS. Let me see, risk
Yeah, RSIC.
or
Oh,
R6,
RSIC.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
RSIC
RSIC,
frames.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah, that one.
rune
Yeah.
Genesis rune kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be the big one because it's the one that was developed by the rune developer.
Yeah,
So it
Casey
might
Roddenau.
still pump. Yeah, it might still pump in the future. You never know. It's sitting at around 2,700 Bitcoin market cap. So it's not that bad, but I mean, it touched 6K, I think it did. And there are some that are actually way above that in their pricing. Like, for example, even Dog Go to the Moon is sitting at like 2 times the current evaluation of RSIC. And I don't know if it's true, but there's like ZZZZZZ, whatever it is, Pehu or whatever it's called. On runes, I'm checking on Magic Eden. It's like a 34,000 Bitcoin, which is kind of weird. So I don't know if it's like really worth that much. It seems like a bit excessive. I don't know. But yeah, I'm curious to find out, about how the meme coin ecosystem is going on Bitcoin a bit more.
Yeah, because I think the issue with Web3 for the most part is that it's always has been and feels like it always will be a whale's game, in the sense that the more money you have, the more you can make. Um, so with like the meme land and stake land farming, there's people out there, because I hold a captain's. I don't have that much meme in comparison. I think I've got like 88,000 or something like that meme. Um, but there's people out there with like hundreds of thousands of meme, millions of meme, and that's because they're whales and they've got, super crews and crap like that. So um, their gains are always going to be bigger than mine, but it's all relative, because I think for the most part, the aim of stake land is to, in my opinion at least, give the perception to the holders that you have a way of making money without selling your assets. So even though the Arctic runes, I don't know how much they are worth. I didn't sell, but even if it was like a couple of $100, um, the psychology of it is okay. You minted or bought your captain, you get this meme. I participated in a fire sale. That's where most of my meme comes from. So you get daily unlocks of X amount of meme, and then you can stake it. And then
Mhm.
rather than having to sell your meme, you can just farm these stakes, get these other tokens, and you can sell those instead. And meanwhile, hopefully the price of meme goes up. And that's the basic Ponzi psychology of it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely. I think that the big limitation right now is that it's not simple to trade these meme tokens,
mm,
and they're not on any exchanges. They're just there and you have to go through, Magic Eden and whatnot. And there isn't that big of a market yet for that kind of like way of trading. Because when you think about memes on any other platform like Solana or Ethereum, there's swaps everywhere. There is exchanges everywhere that adopt it, and this is like very, very, very early. So it might be a play in the longer run, but I don't see it yet. I don't even think that it's gonna be like something thriving as, for example, memes on Solana, which is like the meme capital of like every kind of like token that like pops up. Base is coming in like second right now, I think, with the potential of like growth. And we've seen some on Blast, like Pac Moon. We all respect, that activation, the way they're building. I feel that's a very strong one.
yeah, yeah, I would agree. I mean, Pac-Man's kind of it's a tricky one because of because of blast gold and farming. So it's like a lot of people would think that they're too good for um like engagement farming. And although people always tell themselves whatever it is they need to hear to convince themselves to do whatever it is they feel like they shouldn't be doing. So, for instance, with Pac Moon or engagement farming, it's like, "Ah, I'm not engagement farming, I've got to respect my followers and so on and so forth." But then people will say, oh, well, Pac Moon's different because they want you to do quality content. But whereas, quality content related to Pac Moon is debatable, in my personal opinion. And because the Pac Moon token itself is going up, and then you can stake it on Wasabi, so you can farm blast points, also get gold from Wasabi. You could enter it onto the jackpot dashboard in Blast, and then that has subsequently won the jackpot on 2 occasions. There's a real tangible like payoff for people to do that. Whereas with the other engagement farming tokens, it's basically like a hope and a prayer. Obviously, Blast Gold, nobody knows how much it's worth, but based on Pac-Man's track record with Blur, people have that confidence that Blast is worth farming, whereas other tokens or engagement farming projects don't have that trust, essentially. And that's why people were able to make a good bag out of tokens like Portal, which I know is close to Saints and Sandy. No comment, Saints.
Well, Sandy is no longer with us, so I guess it's only saying to hold the flag there.
Yeah. Yeah, she might have had to drop off. But I see it's gone past the 10 o'clock phase. I just want to quickly shout out well, everyone in the crowd. You're all legends, like literally legends. Um, I don't know who Blaze is, so Blaze, you might not be a legend, but being that you're here, you're a legend. Um, yeah, Dustin, Fabino, Ninja, Caesar. We got a legit bona fide legend, as in Darkon. He's been doing so much work um, with like the gas gangsters and trying to collate all the information to make it as clear and easy to read for holders and non-holders alike. So massive props to you for that, Darkon. It's a massive help. Obviously, Lazy, Big Mo, and King Lost as well. I know King Lost has been nose to the grindstone working on bloody Web3 Asylum. Um, it would be great to be able to get you to come up on stage one day, or maybe we could do an AMA, and you can tell us more about Web3 Asylum and what you've been cooking up there. Because I mean, I am biased, but I do think it's a project that has legs and is an absolute no-brainer. But I'll allow King Lost to fill you in with those details at another time. But yeah, I see we got Sandy that's come up. So Grim, I'll let you do the honors of going around everyone for any final words and saying your final messages and that. And yeah, you can take us out with some music afterwards.
Well, first and foremost is Evil Ord coming. So I think that the last thought should be towards that, and everybody's pumped. I'm seeing a lot of requests for collabs, and I am bullish because I feel the love for the Gangster All Star community and Duang. Definitely somebody that needs way more recognition that he's got, and everything that he brings to the space is beautiful. And I so much appreciate the support of the community as a whole, and can't wait to see what's next. And this ordinal approach is super fun. I love the fact that we ushering new relationships with other communities in ordinal, something that we have done low key through our friends that are part of like the Gangster All Star family, but having some way to actually be on Bitcoin with the Gangster All Star ecosystem is something that I'm really happy for. And so I can't wait for more people to ask about it and see where that will lead. And obviously, I am telling anybody that I don't want any alpha to chill it too hard because I don't want to break expectations. We are a passion-driven project that is building some amazing stuff. We got very, very, very interesting collaboration and partnership in the future. And so wait and see. It's going to be a beautiful ride, but don't have massive expectation that you have like moon bags in your hands. And yeah, that's it. And anybody who wants to chime in, Saint, you've been quiet. I mean, we tried to pass the word to you, but you didn't respond. Are you still with us? Yeah, I think we lost Saint. He's probably
maybe
flirting or eating, I don't know, chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
or
chicken.
As you say, the noodles with the toothpaste.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Sandy's able to join us. I sent a request. I know she's normally driving
Oh
at
my
this
God.
time, and
Am
I
I
think I could.
rugging still or
Oh,
no?
yeah, I can
You
hear you.
were. I don't know about now.
Yes, I am driving, and I hate the like when you're on the road. Sometimes like it just literally rugs you all the time. But I've been listening in and out. Apologies.
That's all right. That's all right. What are your any thoughts on Evil all the recent tweets and stuff like that? Did you take a snapshot of the GIF and post what image you came up with?
Yeah, I got the Bitcoin eyes, which is very fitting because I do love some
Lovely.
Bitcoin. But I think it's super nice. I'm really excited. The more I see sneak peeks, the more I really want to mint this, and I think you guys are doing a great job with just keeping everybody intrigued on what to expect. And to be honest, the fact that Duong is really doing all one of ones, even though it's not 100% confirmed. But I think that's amazing, and I think everyone's going to be really happy to have like something special that is just for them. So super excited. And I also wanted to touch on something. I know we were in BC. Was it yesterday, Cryptovius? And we were talking with some people, some of them not holders, and seeing people's perception that are outside of the community. It's always interesting to see that the space has not evolved from,
Number go up.
Exactly, like the dumbest like things that people find important, like that's still floor price. So it's interesting to see that space, like this space has not evolved from that, even though we've evolved in like so many other things, but this is still pretty much the same. So
you know what, Sandy, I was thinking about that a lot from the whole of last night and throughout today, and the conclusion I came to is whenever I speak to anyone, I'm going to put the ball in their court and I'm going to ask them, what do you want from a project? And I'll get them to tell me, what do you want from a project? If they say utility, what kind of utility? If you want, I don't know, whatever it is, get them to tell me what they want. And then whatever they say, I'll react according to that. Because like you said, the long and short of it all is people want number go up. So if anyone says, oh, we want a project with a strong community, well, that's gas. Oh, we want a project that delivers products. Oh, well, that's gas. Oh, we like good art. When Gas 2 comes out, although I do like the Evo art, but I can appreciate the shortcomings with regards to PFP ability. That will be gas. Yeah. So, we want projects with good partnerships. Okay, so we got VUCA, part of TMB, who are a billion-dollar company. So that'll be a tick in the gas box. So then it will have to come down to them being honest and go, oh, I want to buy a project that I think the floor price is going to go up in a short space of time. And that's making people being truly honest with themselves and others that they speak to.
Yeah, and that's exactly the thing. Like people come in sometimes and they have like you said, they have all these excuses, but we got to hold them accountable to what the hell they're saying. And I'm happy that we're doing that because everybody's full of shit in the space. They all talk about utility this, utility that. people only care about floor price, and they don't care that it's being manipulated or not, as long as it pumps their bags. But if their floor that they're holding is not being manipulated, then they complain. But then they complain if someone else is manipulating other floor prices that they're not in on it. So a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of double standards in the space. I feel like there's also certain communities they look down on other communities. It's still a lot of immaturity in the space that we haven't moved on from. And all of it stems literally from floor price, even though, like you said, projects have delivered on every single thing they promised. The utility is there. Partnerships are there. I can name you so many projects that have done that their floor price does not reflect all the hard work that their team has put in. And it's not their fault. It's just, this is the space. This is the reality of the space that we are in. And unfortunately, it has not evolved to where it should be when it comes to these things. It's evolved in other ways, but not when it comes to that. And I think that we should just keep calling these people out when they're, saying, talking down on projects for other reasons than what the reality is, which is the floor price.
I agree. And that's why I urge anyone, regardless of whatever project you're holding, if you think it's applicable, just ask whoever it is, maybe fudding your project that you're in question, and just ask them, what do you want from a project? And then when whatever it is they say, just question them. What specifically, with regards to utility, community, products, whatever it may be, do you want? And then they'll have to actually come up with something, they'll have to come up with an answer. And a lot of people, I imagine, will get flustered at this because they've not been questioned in that way. Because what tends to happen, in my opinion, when people are criticizing or questioning the legitimacy of a project, the people who are holding that project get super defensive, and then it detracts from asking the real, proper, deep cutting questions to the person who's making the accusations, or the non-holder, say. So yeah, just ask, what do you expect from a project?
Yeah, and I feel that goes right along with the setting expectations. And it's a responsibility from the project founders, but at the same time, it's also for the people that are looking into a project to not think that they're gonna make bags every single time. Things needs to switch in Web3, and I feel like this money-driven investment kind of strategy that all people have, imagining that they still have the possibility to make moon bags like they did in early 2021 or 2020s, where you could buy a CryptoPunk and now it's worth millions. It's not like that anymore. And I don't think that there are many projects that will be able to achieve that in such a short period of time. That like 100 ETH on Bored Ape lid that they managed to touch for a while was very bullish, but at the same time unrealistic, because they apart from having that and being something for cloud, something that because famous stars had it, and you felt like you were part of that was the only thing that you were getting back. It's not like Yuga ever did anything to empower people that were in the community. And I've heard so many times that people that utilized Bored Apes for a long time, that never got anything out of it, and they represented themselves. They built entire brands around it. It's just I don't know. It's there is that thing to resolve. But anyways, I see that Stains is stretching his arm. Want to just check if it's time for him to say something, or is just saying, high five.
I was told I was called on. I had to go help my mom with something.
We called on you a couple of times, actually, and that's why you have a responsibility, even though you want to help your mom and you're a good son, that while you're on Spaces, you at least need to chime in when somebody talks to you as a co-host. Otherwise, I'm taking you a peg down, and next time it's going to be always Sandy on that spot. But anyways, Since we are about to wrap up, and we had a very lovely conversation with everybody, and Parrots included, even though he just chimed in once. Just kidding, buddy. But it's about time that we wrap this up. And anytime you guys want to have a chat, you can always find us in the Gangster All Star VC. It's always a good time, and everybody's welcome. Holder, non-holders, we just a vibe. And being a gangster is all it's about. It's about family, it's about camaraderie. And that's why I always say every week, stay gangsters, because it's not just a fun way to include our community, but it's really a credo that we have and we live by. We live like gangster because we take care of our own, and we love to hang with like our community. And that said, it's been a wonderful time chatting to you all, as always. Everybody in the audience, everybody on our panel, our gang, have a wonderful weekend coming up, and we'll adjourn to next week, same time, same place, always with the Gangster All-Star fam. Always welcoming a good time and talking about what's happening in Web3. And since like I have been picking a few songs and I wanted to have something that goes out with a bang, but sometimes, you just go with the flow. So sometimes
I need to free my mind. Sometimes I get real high. Sometimes I want to raise my hand. Sometimes I want to do my
I like
dance.
what you did there, Kareem.
Sometimes I need to free my mind. Sometimes I get real high. Sometimes I want to lose control. Sometimes the beat touch my soul. Sometimes I want to raise my hand. Sometimes I want to do my dance. Sometimes.
Take care, everyone. Thanks for coming.
The beat touch my soul. Sometimes.
And Faith doesn't like that. I see him thumbs down. I guess he doesn't like, tech house.
Free my mind. Sometimes I get real high. Sometimes I want to raise my hand. Sometimes I want to do my dance. Sometimes I need to free my mind. Sometimes I get real high. Sometimes I want to lose control. Sometimes the beat touch my soul. Sometimes.
Fame sometimes. Family sometimes. Crypto sometimes. Parrot sometimes.
Sometimes. I want to lose control. The beat touch my soul.